Hey y'all. So, happy Friday. I'm going to give the notification in just a few minutes to pop up and for people to come into the room. And let's see, because of course, my computer is freezing up a little bit. But hopefully everybody is doing well and ready for the weekend. Hey, Cajun. Hey, Connie. If y'all here, make sure y'all let me know that you're here. Hey, Ethan. How are you? And so I'm just going to give people a few minutes to come in and trying to clear out my computer. And then we'll jump right into this topic. All right, let's see. Hey, Cadillac. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit the like as y'all coming in so the video can get out to more people. And then we're going to get started in a second. Ramen said he banned me on the first, and all I did was speak out in reference to the strategy of what I love. Music, rap, and politics is conspiracy that shows that George Soros controls American politics. Who banned you? Facebook? Anthony said, was a Farrakhan account really his account? Probably so, but a lot of these celebrities have people who run their social media accounts. And let me get Cage and his information while we're waiting. But a lot of times these people have y'all know they have a team running their social media accounts. Most celebrities, personalities don't directly run their don't directly run their social media a lot of times. So but so hopefully everybody is having a good Friday. Where is my information? I'm looking for occasion. I got you coming. Yes, Gab. What? Yeah, Ramen said we gotta wake up. It's not about an individual, it's about liberation, independent thinking of the people. Globalism is nothing but a code word for modern day slavery. And people don't get the bigger picture. Like a lot of people don't get the bigger picture out here or whatever. So we definitely gonna talk about that. Y'all, these folks that already demonetized me. I bet it was from me. It's either from the name Louis Farrakhan in my title, or they're literally like the algorithms are set up certain ways to listen to the videos, I believe. So maybe it was me just reading Ramen's what he wrote. But they have these people, they quick with it, like, oh my God. Like, are you serious? But all right, Cajun, there you go. So that should be. Hey RJ, hey Ellie. Yeah, I said Farrakhan saved my life. All right, so all right, let's go ahead and get into this so I won't keep y'all long. Hey, Neil. Got some people still coming on in. So I'm going to start off by reading this article from CNN Business just to give y'all kind of like an overall general view of what's going on. And then I will break it down, talk about it, see what y'all think, and we will go from there. All right, so This is from CNN Business, okay? So, all right. Louis Farrakhan, Alex Jones, and other dangerous voices banned by Facebook and Instagram. Facebook announced Thursday that it had designated some high profile people, including Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, who's notorious for using anti Semitic language, and right wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is dangerous, and said it will be purging them from its platforms. Jones and his media outlet InfoWars had previously been banned from Facebook in August 2018, but it had maintained a presence on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. On Thursday, Jones and InfoWars will be barred from Instagram as well. Other people banned on Thursday include Paul Nealon, an anti-Semite who unsuccessfully ran for Congress in 2016 and 2018, and fringe right-wing media personalities Larry Loomer, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Paul Joseph Watson. We've always banned individuals or organizations that promote or engage in violence and hate, regardless of ideology, a Facebook spokesperson said in a statement provided to CNN Business. The process of evaluating potential violators is extensive, and this is what led us to our decision to remove these accounts today. A Facebook spokesperson told CNN Business the company goes through a lengthy process. Now, y'all listen to this. The company goes through a lengthy process and takes into consideration a number of factors before determining an individual to be dangerous. The Facebook spokesperson says such factors include whether the person or organization has ever called for violence against individuals based on race, ethnicity, or national origin, whether the person has been identified with a hateful ideology, whether they use hate speech or slurs in their about section or their social media profiles, and whether they have had pages or groups removed from Facebook for violating hate speech rules. In some instances, when Facebook bans an individual or an organization, it also, y'all get this, it also restricts others from expressing praise or support for them on its platforms, the spokesperson said, adding that the company continues to view such action as a correct approach. That policy may not apply to any or all of the people banned Thursday, however. So this just goes on to talk about this. Some of the people responded, some of them did not. Some of them said they haven't used this type of language, and this and the other. All right. So, all right. So, something that I want y'all to notice, right? So, first of all, if you praise this person or support this person, you may be restricted, right? This is something I always talk about. Hey, to everybody just coming in the room. This is something I always talk about. We have to stop putting people in boxes. It is very possible to agree with people in some points, think they are spot on, and not agree with them in other areas. So if you support these people, praise them, you may also be restricted, okay? That's number one. Number two, thank you, Morris. Number two, they have been looking at these platforms for the longest to see which ones that they will want to ban. So I was thinking, Louis Farrakhan. I'm like, what has Louis Farrakhan recently said that was, would be considered hateful, hate speech. What has he done? What has he done that has been super controversial? Usually, those type of things will at some level go viral. So I'm like, I haven't seen anything. And then I go on to read the article, and it's like they've been looking at these people for a long time. They've been considering this. They look at all these different things to determine this person is dangerous, right? So, yes, Beats by Blue. Let me get there. Let me get there. So, the thing is, hey, Akeem. So, the thing is, first of all, this is what people have to understand, okay? Louis Farrakhan has said some controversial things. Louis Farrakhan has said some controversial things in his past, whether you agree with that, whether you agree with him, whether you think it's true, whatever the case may be. He has said things that groups of people deem controversial, okay? From these are said to be anti-Semitic remarks. But he has said things about Jews, particularly, okay, saying Hitler was a great man, Jews are wicked, Jews are deceitful, saying some Islamic group that is said to be terrorist. I don't know a lot about the group, but he said, some people call them terrorists. I think they're freedom fighters, okay? Now, you try inserting any other group of people. Black people are wicked and deceitful. Gay people are wicked and deceitful. Women are wicked and deceitful. Disabled people are wicked and deceitful. Transgender people are wicked and deceitful. People are going to find these statements controversial, period. So let's start with that. Let's not ignore the facts. A lot of people don't want to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. It's a spade. But regardless of the statements that Farrakhan has made, whether you agree with them or whether you don't, there is an example that is trying to be made out of these group of people right now. This is basically like Facebook sticking their toe in the water to see how far they can get with banning certain people, calling things hate speech, calling things hateful ideology, to see how people are going to respond to them. So people are trying to make it people are trying to, hey Helena, people are trying to make it something that is not. But this is a test. People want to see how you are going to respond to this. How are you going to defend these people? If you are going to root them on and make this okay, so they can continue to push this agenda to silence people and silence certain group of people and push this further and further, okay? Now, I'll talk to y'all about this while I've talked about France, particularly in the UN several times on this channel, is because the UN is a good indicator of where the US could be headed in terms of these laws and things like that. So let me break it down. The UN has tried to make hate speech illegal. Make it where you can basically go to jail for hate speech. This is already happening in certain places where the police literally can show up at your front freaking door and say, come with us for what you said on Facebook. Is that really the type of world that y'all want to live in? Who gets to make the rules? Who gets to say what's too much? Okay? A lot of people like to point the finger. They never like to see them own selves in equations. This is why I say do not promote cancel culture. This is not telling you to support everybody and support everybody that you don't like and support people that you don't agree with. But the fact of the matter is, when you support cancel culture, you are sending a message to people like Facebook saying, this is okay. We're okay for y'all blocking out certain people, and you can't get mad when they start to block out your people and the people you agree with. You can't do it. You don't make the rules. You're not sitting at the freaking board on Facebook to get to say, well, they gotta go, but Farrakhan gets to stay. It doesn't work like that, okay? So I've told y'all a million times, as sure as these people come to their front door, they're coming to you next, okay? They literally throw things at us to test us for these agendas, and then they end up engulfing us. They manipulate us, okay? The whole hate speech thing started off with, oh, well, you don't want people saying the N-word, do you? I mean, you don't want that. Of course, you can support us not supporting that. We're not for that. And we're, well, shoot, I mean, hey, that sounds good. I mean, why would I want that? I'm totally on your side. Cool, I'm with that. And then before you know it, you got people trying to cancel Just Hilarious, trying to cancel Kevin Hart, trying to cancel Terry Crews. How can you believe? Explain it to me. How can you believe that Black people are more harshly penalized or held to a higher standard, or overly imprisoned, and yet you feed into the agenda that is to over criminalize everything? You cannot on one hand think that, oh my God, this affects me the most, and then you're also at the same time trying to push those agendas. It just doesn't make sense. And when it really hit me, it really, really sunk in and really clicked that things were starting to go downhill, when I saw Black men hashtagging Believe All Women. At that moment, it was like a light bulb that went off in my head. And I'm thinking, like, what world are y'all living in? What universe are y'all living in when you want to jump on these type of bandwagons, okay? In the beginning, it's like, oh yeah, believe all women because it's somebody we don't like. But now, when they coming to plot the people out of your hood, when y'all see the little boy going to jail for 12 years for kissing a white girl or whatever was going on, now it's a problem. Now you retracting. Now you don't want to believe all women. Which one is it? And this is why we have to make these distinctions. Is my camera still going, y'all? Yeah, did my camera? I don't know if my camera just went out. Let me see. Okay, y'all can see me? Okay, good. But this is why we have to make these distinctions. You cannot just, y'all let me know if it goes out again, because YouTube, they'll mess with me. But right now I can see y'all still going. Okay. But you cannot bandwagon stuff that's going to come back to bite you in the butt. You can't do it. And you have to have foresight and be able to see these things up front. Like, it's so important. So when these white women get on this jewelry, you have 12, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 12 white women on this jury with this young black boy, and the whole media cycle has been telling them, believe all women, believe all women, believe all women, and y'all joining in, believe all women, believe all women. How you gonna turn around and get mad for things you aid in, promote, support, push, normalize? It doesn't work like that. You got to pick a side. You have to have that same energy. Okay? So who gets to make these rules? Who gets to say what's what? And let me tell you, it's not going to be you. You can say whatever you want in the social sphere. Oh yeah, that's hate speech. That's hate speech. Is this, is that. But you not sitting on the board of Facebook making these decisions. You not sitting at the UN making these decisions. It's not you. So why would you help normalize stuff that can directly impact and hurt your community? Make it make sense. We have to be forward thinking, okay? Killer Mike tweeted something because he was kind of talking about this the other day. And basically I agree with him. He kind of had that same sentiment, but he tweeted something by Noam Chomsky, and it was a direct quote. It said, if we don't believe in freedom of speech for those we despise, we do not believe in it at all. Let me say it one more time. If we don't believe in freedom of speech for those we despise, we do not believe in it at all. What are y'all going, at what point does it stop? What are y'all going to do? Are you going to pick a database and say, okay, these are only the words that's off limits? Then people will come up with new words. Communication is always evolving. So what are you going to do? That's just more restrictions, more penalties. And y'all are helping normalize this. And it's not okay. You cannot distrust police and distrust the government, but somehow you trust them when it comes to things like this and making decisions like this, when you've seen how things have impacted and affected you. Like, and then I saw a lot of people in the comments talking about, no, you're not right, because Facebook is a private company. Facebook can do whatever Facebook wants to do, is privately owned, and they get to say what they want to do. Okay, fine. Y'all keep that same energy when y'all walk into these private restaurants. Okay? And they don't want your business. When you walk into these private hotels and they don't like how you look and don't believe you fit in there. I'm gonna need y'all to be kings and queens of keeping the same energy. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes people just say stuff, you're not really fully thinking this through. Facebook is testing to see how far they can get with this. They are trying to silence certain people. And whether I agree with people or not, I believe in their right to say it. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things I don't agree with Louis Farrakhan on, but there are some things I do agree with him on, particularly when he talks about men standing up, leading their families, being there for their families and their women, and how key they are to their family and their children. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that's with anybody. I could maybe find things that they said that I don't like and find things that they said that I do like, okay? Particularly with Alex Jones. I'm not like super familiar with Alex Jones. I never really just could get into him like that. Something I have learned on this journey, you cannot just listen to people when people say, oh, this person is this person is that. You really have to go listen to these people for yourself and make your own assumption, because sometimes I've been steered away from listening to certain people because of the things that the media was telling me, people were saying in social spaces. And then when I go listen, I'm like, but they're not even that bad. Or a lot of what they're saying is the truth. A lot of what they're saying is facts. So don't just write people off. But going back to Alex Jones, I never really got into him like that. But a lot of people were mad at Alex Jones because of the whole school. Which school was it, y'all? The school shooting. I think it was Sandy Hook, if I'm not mistaken. But my thing is, and this is something to think about, this is something to think about the current state of our society and our culture. People got so mad at Alex Jones about Sandy Hook. People got so mad at his listeners about Sandy Hook, when really people should have been thinking, where is the disconnect happening in our nightly news? Where's the disconnect happening with our politicians? Where's the disconnect happening with our news anchors and our officials, that people are going to look for information elsewhere? Why are people being drawn to YouTube? Why are people being drawn to other sources? Why are people being drawn to the new media? Why are people being drawn to the new Black media? They don't ask those questions. The real questions we should be asking, that's what we should be looking at. Well, dang. First of all, what made Alex Jones feel like that? Second of all, what drew people to what he was saying? So if we could solve that issue in itself, which a lot of these politicians and these news personalities don't seem to want to do, because they double down on their rhetoric, and you can't see your numbers are dwindling. You're losing people. You're talking about things that people don't particularly care about, instead of solving a root problem and saying, well, what are we doing wrong? Maybe it's that we don't offer an alternative. Maybe it's that we don't offer a wider perspective. Maybe we don't give people things to think about. No, you don't get that. You just get, oh, no, that's hate speech. That's hate ideology. Cut them out. They're out of here. Don't listen to them. Demonetized, censored. Nope, blue. Nope, you out of here. It's over with. Instead of looking at the root issues, it's a reason why people are being drawn to these things. People are tired of some things. It's just not adding up. It's not making sense. And so if we could look at that, if we could solve that, it'll start to work its own self out. Okay. But so yeah. Also, with the who is going to make the rules? Who is going to say what's right and what's not? All right. Where do you draw the line, and who draws it? Who gets to say what's fair? What's objective? Who are those people going to be? And also, a lot of times, why I don't agree with people being put in boxes, okay, is because a lot of times people conflate issues naturally. We naturally tend to want to rationalize people, understand them, so we put them in these boxes. Left versus right, Black versus white, immigrant, non-immigrant, this versus that. But sometimes people's opinions are varying. They fluctuate. We're not monolithic. You could be controversial in one area and not so much controversial in another. Even with me, right? A lot of times I come on here and I talk about immigration, illegal immigration, how illegal immigration tends to affect Black people in the Black community through facts, numbers, data, people's own testimonies, what I see. Who's going to be that person to say, well, you know, this is not hate speech, but people that don't want immigrants here altogether, they don't like illegal immigrants, that think they're terrible people, that say they're this and they're that. Who's going to be able to say that that's different, instead of saying, well, all of y'all at least against illegal immigration, so all of y'all out of here? You know what I mean? Yes, you do have some very hateful people out here, people that say mean things. When I was growing up, it was, sticks and stones may break my bones. But words may never hurt me. Now we are literally pushing forward such a sensitive culture that you won't literally be able to say anything to anybody. Anything. I was riding in my car this morning, headed to the gym. I was listening to the Ricky Smiley show or whatever. And what's that guy's name? I think his name is Lavelle Crawford. I missed a little bit of it, but he's a comedian, and I missed a little bit of it. And I'm not exactly sure it was him, but I'm pretty sure it was him because I think I recognize his voice. But anyway, he was doing this stand-up comedy on side babies or something like that, side babies. And he was saying how, he was at some type of gathering and a mom just popped up with his side baby, and he had never met the side baby before, and he didn't think that was the right way to do that. And, he was basically talking about side baby, so basically a child that you have outside of your marriage, talking about, basically saying they should be treated less than the regular children or whatever. And he was saying, if you take your kids to McDonald's, they should have a side baby meal that comes with like a used toy and what he said, like a piece of bread or something. He was saying it was really crazy. And y'all, I did not like the joke. I did not like it, okay? I did not like how it made me feel. I did not like the fact that I work with children, a lot of them who may not have their father in their life, may not have a father figure, and immediately it made me think about them, how they feel. But at the end of the day, not only is this man a comedian, but I am not about to go out here and get some freaking picket signs and start defending the side babies and start a march and petitions for stop harassment against side babies. Who's to say that wouldn't want to make somebody treat their side baby differently because of that type of speech? Who's to say that? So do y'all see where I'm going? It's a never-ending thing. We can always find things to be offended about. Even though it didn't make me laugh, I just didn't think it was funny. The delivery wasn't that great to me, and just the content wasn't that great. But regardless, he has the ability to say it. And I'm not going around, starting some campaign to stop people from speech. And a distinction we have to make is opinions and speech that calls for direct violent threats. Okay, that is two different things. Now, I don't think anybody in their right mind, I don't think anybody in their right mind would deny the fact that if somebody is openly calling for violence, calling for people to be hurt, maimed, shot, gunned down, knifed down, fought, killed, murdered. I don't think anybody in their right mind would be against that. But that is very obvious and in your face and undeniable. So we have to make that distinction. Sometimes we get so focused on what's being taken from others that we are not even looking at the possibility of things being taken from ourselves. But RhondaMary, I mean, what about the white people saying the N-word? What about the white people hurting my feelings or saying that they don't like Black people? Something my mom always taught me from a young age is you cannot control other people. You can't do it. It is impossible. You can only control yourself. There are always going to be controversial people, hateful people, racist people, evil people. There are going to be people that say things that you don't like. But don't be so busy trying to bring down those people that you end up bringing down yourself. Because when they start coming to your neighborhood, okay, for your Kevin Harts, your Terry Cruzes, your Just Hilariouses, your Charlemagnes, then it's going to be a problem. Then it's going to be a problem. So, that's all I have to say about that. I would never advocate for more laws and penalties and normalizing things that will indirectly or eventually end up impacting me, my community, my family. We have to be forward thinking. Like we have to think about these things, and we don't. And this is why I'm telling y'all, we are being manipulated not to think about these things. We are directly being manipulated to not think about how Me Too, no, not Me Too, how Believe All Women can affect or create another Emmett Till. We are directly not thinking about how taking gun rights from Black people or any people could affect that young 20-year-old mother with 2 kids living in a neighborhood that she has to until she can get her feet on the ground. We are not thinking about how stopping other people from their speech is going to directly end up coming to our neighborhoods to pluck people out of our neighborhoods, our communities, our entertainment, because it's going to eventually affect their speech as well. So this whole Facebook thing is a test. They are testing to see how far they can take this, how people are going to respond. And some of y'all already making it okay. And it's not. It's not okay. So, Corey said side babies used to be called love childs. Tony said, right on, Rhonda. I agree. And something else I thought about, and it was y'all that taught me this about, was that Tony? on my video where I talked about Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke and free speech, and somebody told me about how he basically this was this like in the 90s when they were trying to restrict certain people from certain type of music and doing certain type of things, and there's a lot of people that stood up for him, not necessarily because they agreed to Live Crew. Thank you, Cajun. Not necessarily because they agreed with the music he was making or things he was saying, but the fact that if you do this and it impacts him, it impacts others. And I think that's a very good Two Live Crew. That's a very good history for people to know, because well, I kind of knew about it. I had heard about it, but I think when you can add that in the context of things that are going on now, and when people know these things and think about these things, so Mike said late 80s to 90s Two Live Crew. When people know about these things and think about these things, it adds context and it gives other people things to think about. And it's like, well, maybe I should take another look at this. Maybe I should think about this again. If eventually my favorite rapper could end up in jail because of the things I helped normalize and make okay, and people are saying, oh, it's a private company, it's a Facebook, they get to say what's on their platform. Do y'all know everything that's going on with Facebook and the government and agendas? Do y'all know how normalizing stuff in certain spheres pushes it further? The UN literally started with hate speech, okay, being socially unacceptable. Like, oh, we don't like it. It's not the best thing to say socially, and to people literally going to jail for putting rap lyrics in a Facebook post, for saying things about immigration that are unfavorable. And who do y'all think are going to make these rules? People that you don't trust, people that you don't like already. So you say you don't like the politicians, you don't trust them. Why would you turn around and give them more power? That I don't understand. And we just blindly do that because we accept, oh, you said that's good for me, it must be good for me. You look like me and you said that must be good for me. Oh, it must be good for me. Without really taking the time to really put things in context, look at different historical perspectives, really think about how could it eventually impact us. So yeah, that's just some things to think about. I'm from Mississippi, 2 block. So when we see those things, we need to help nip it in the bud, help not normalize it. And that's why I'm here. That's what I'll try to do. I'll try my best to do. But that's really all I had to come on here and say. Y'all, that was like a slick little rant. I agree, Tony. Tony said everyone needs to have a right to speak if we like what they are saying or not. I completely agree with that. But yes, Lenny, that goes with the mega hat thing as well. We have to stop emotionalizing our children. We have to stop making them so sensitive. You're going to meet people in life that don't like you. I've had racist experiences, but they don't define me. I'll probably talk to y'all about some of them, maybe, I don't know. But life goes on. I've heard people in worse situations. Like you shouldn't even be talking crazy. And you talking crazy. Why would I let that bother me? Some people are going to spend their whole entire lives in an emotional state. That is what we're pushing. We're pushing the youth, we're pushing these children, we're pushing millennials to constantly be in an emotional state, and that is the weakest state to be. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying having emotions is weak, but constantly being in a sensitive, emotionalized state is weak. Do you know why? Because that's the best time for people to slip things by you. It's the best time for people to take your rights away. It's the best time for people to manipulate you because you are on an emotional high. You can't think straight. You're not being logical. You're angered and you're sensitive to a completely irrational point. And I do not promote that, especially as men, particularly as Black men. We don't want to see you in an emotional crybaby, I'm so hurt state where you can't keep 10 toes down and stick your chest out. You feel like you have to go knock somebody's hat off. That does nothing for me. That does nothing for me. It's nothing manly or sexy or anything about that. It's just now if someone is trying to attack or threaten or hurt you or the young lady you're with, then obviously that's a different case. Obviously. And that's when you do what you have to do. But no, I don't believe going around fighting people, screaming at people, woo, 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 turning up on people every time we disagree with them. We don't like what they say. We don't like what they have on. That is a very wasteful, tiring life and a very tiring human experience. Very tiring. How you going to focus on life, be successful, be happy, be at a state of peace, and you always walking around looking for something to be hurt about or mad about or angry or emotional? There's just no way to be. There's no type of life to live. That's not life. That's not living. How you going to enjoy life when you always looking for something to be hurt and mad about? That has to literally be a mental problem. You are self-sabotaging. Literally. You are self-sabotaging and you're looking for things to do to yourself to anger yourself. Why would you want to live like that? When you can just walk past that person and carry on with your life, carry on with your day. And so, and it's not just for men. I mean, this for women too, but exactly. But Sean said that's why they all have anxiety and depression. This generation, I think I was reading something the other day that said this generation has the most anxiety, depression, and suicide. It's already enough stuff to worry about, y'all. Life already brings enough problems on its own. We are already going to go through this human experience. Why make it worse? Why prolong it? Why be in fights and battles you don't even have to be in? Do you think knocking somebody's hat off is going to, I mean, what is it going to give you a better job? Is it going to put more money in your pocket? Is it going to move you to a different neighborhood or better opportunity? that person, you're not, if anything, and by doing that, if anything, you exacerbated what that person, whatever you thought they may have felt about you, if they did, you definitely didn't help the cause. You definitely didn't change their mind or their opinion. So I'm across the board, Lenny. I'm across the board. It's no different. It is what it is. So, but all right, y'all. So that's all I had to say for today. Thank y'all for joining me on a Friday. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up so this video can get out. I am going to be joining my friends this weekend. I got friends coming in town. We're going to be enjoying May Day. So we're going to be hanging out and barbecuing and doing some fun stuff. Hopefully, if it doesn't rain too bad, because I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So I probably will not see y'all again till Monday or Tuesday. I always recommend people taking a break and a breather from social media because it can be overwhelming and you're constantly taking in all this information and stuff like that. Hey, truth seeker. But you're always being bombarded with this stuff, and so I always recommend people taking a breather, coming back to the things that actually matter, y'all, which family and friendship is on the top of my list. I can't say what's on the top of y'all's. But at the end of the day, all this other stuff, really, it's just a lot of stuff. So. But all right, y'all, that's just that. So y'all have a good weekend. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank y'all. Bye.